Okay, I'm gonna go out and try to walk just a little bit more. I have sat down and rested for a little while. Took a little, I don't know what I did. I was trying to go ahead and wait while I posted that last video I did, the one of me walking. But I decided I'm gonna walk a little bit more, and I didn't want to wait. Tonight, I'm on my way home, sweet home. Can feel a little moisture in the air. It was almost like I had a raindrop in my eyeball. Yeah, they're big houses. I wonder originally what they were made for. Look at all the windows. So I don't know, that might be a fourplex. And it could be an eightplex. And it could be a 12. In other words, there's three floors of windows right there, and then there's probably a basement. And there's a part on the outside, an extension that has doors. Yes, I'm nosy. Looks like 2 doors. It's an extension off of that brick. Anyway, I don't want to be on my legs too long without doing something good. That's what I started to say earlier, though, is one of those doctors said, you know, if you find yourself just sitting around too much, stand up. And given a choice, you can stand up. And I didn't understand it at the time, but really it does take some energy to stand up, and that's what she was saying. Which means it's helping to build your muscles, right? I don't know. I just need to do better, a lot better. So, at least the weather is cooling off a little bit. So that'll be a good thing. And yes, I could go out and find, I have to start going to the Y. And then maybe I can find what I want is a freestyle dance class where I can just go and dance. You know, just go where there's a really good floor and play good music that I can move to. And then I will love that. All right, this is the alley going back up to Jesse's. She's on the right, and there's that big old tree. And this is their fence. Redwood, and that's that tree. Tonight, I have to learn how to dream. I am starting to feel like I'm starting to dream a little bit. It's going to take me a while, and I probably should do what my naturopath told me a few years ago when I wasn't getting any sleep. She wanted me taking 20 milligrams of melatonin a night so I could sleep. And also start dreaming. Dreaming is important too. All right, so I'm gonna go in now. Hi, how are you guys? Tonight. I'll take you upstairs. I'm on my way.
He sent the 2 of you to find me so that I could find the spot.
Okay. Okay, watch out. Sorry. I got a dog in my way. Home, sweet home. All right. I need to have a drink. Okay. I'm all dramatic, right? I know. I make noises. That's funny. Anyway, people, so how long has it been? Really? That was a quick walk. I can't believe that. It says 6 minutes right now. So that was a way quick walk. That's funny. I've come up to my room. I could go over there to my desk and see. But I think it's nice to just have a little walk and a little chat. I don't need my glasses for that. Yep. We're going into fall, right? I mean, it's cool outside. Cool enough that I had to add a shirt. I didn't have to necessarily, but I added a shirt. Long sleeve shirt in case I got chilly. So that means fall to me. And we are in September, so we've already passed August. So yeah, it's the fall. That makes sense, right? Dadgummit. I don't know. I really don't know. But I need to find out, don't I? You know, my daughter, okay, I've started out wrong. I met this lady that is an author, and she was over selling her books. And I've talked about her on here, and I have her card if I don't lose it. So I want to get her books. There's 3 little children's books. So Jessie had mentioned to me, why would you read children's books on your channel? So I told her, later, after thinking about it and stuff, when I was young and my daughter was young, she had such a great imagination. But sometimes I just didn't have the imagination to go with it. And so I think this woman being a behavioral scientist, she's the one who wrote these books. And they're written with the intention of communicating with your child, meaning they communicate back with you, okay? You're communicating. And those of us who have a hard time with our imaginations, it wouldn't hurt, right? So if her books are that great, which I think they are, and I've not read them, but I was thinking I might go ahead and buy them and read them on my channel. I've already talked to her about it. And so as long as I'm giving her the credit, it's her book, I give her information, her website and all that stuff, she's happy. She's happy to get the advertisement, is what it would be. But I'm all for helping, not even just single moms, just moms. And moms these days are all working too, so it's really a hard thing to be a mother and take care of everything. And then to enjoy time with your children where it's not stressful, where learning can happen naturally. Just going to school these days drives me up the wall. These kids go to school, I mean, they're up and out of here bright and early, and then they're gone all day long, and then they got homework to come home to. And then a lot of times the parents are having to help the kids, and the parents don't know what they're trying to teach them. So you've got at home, you've got the parent and the child going through stress and strife that they don't need to. They should not have to. Life is hard enough. So you're going to have the kids all day. Teach them. Let them learn, but try to not be so, I don't know the right word. I had strict and rough and gruff and all kinds of words come to mind. But parents get frustrated and they take it out on the child. And the child is sitting there like not understanding what the teacher's been trying to teach her. And then you come home and your parents get upset because you didn't understand. I mean, where does that put you? Not in a good place. I watched my mom and dad with Nancy. Nancy has dyslexia. And she had a hard time. And Mom had a hard time. I mean, I don't even know if Nancy remembers all that, but I remember. And that's in a different case. I don't even know if they knew she had dyslexia at the time or understood it, because there's a lot of forms of dyslexia, which I believe I have some of it too. I have found myself saying a complete sentence, word for word, backwards. I'm sure it was probably a pretty short sentence, but still. Anyway, I just don't think that our kids and our adults, being the mothers, the parents of these kids, I don't think they should have to be going through that. I think that if they're getting up and going to work and the kids are getting up and going to school and everything's copacetic, then there's got to be a better way to where they don't have homework, where they can go home and actually be a kid, go home and actually have time to themselves, and when the parent is around, the parent can be a parent and enjoy the child, and the child enjoy the mom or the dad. Life is stressful enough just with everybody getting up and going and doing their job for the day. So wouldn't it be nice if they could come home to pleasantry? Let's fix a meal together. Let's sit down and eat. Let's do some playing together. Let's do something that is uplifting without it having to be homework. Don't you think that's ridiculous? And listen to the words. Work. Homework. Okay? These kids have already been up and worked all day and running from class to class to class. Let's put this book away and open up another book. Let's jam this brain full of stuff. And then go send them home to stress over everything at night. There's something wrong with the situation. And I'm always pointing it out, aren't I? But it's true, people. I don't know how we can fix it, but I think getting rid of homework would be a good thing. And then, it is true. I learn best with an instructor. I learn best with a hands-on deal. If I'm learning something, I certainly can't just hear about it. I maybe seeing and doing, but hearing, seeing, and doing. But I know that an instructor is invaluable. Someone who can teach you. What I was going to say was that, then they could have videos, just like we watch on YouTube. You Teacher can't teach them everything, but maybe there's something in a video that can penetrate their brains, that can help them to learn. And then here's the thing. Why do you have to teach them everything there is to know? Purpose in life. Grow up to be happy human beings. To be good human beings. Good to your fellow man. Good to your children. Good to your parents. Well, try not stressing everybody out so much and might go a little further. You know? Let life be enjoyable. I want you guys to think about that. Those of you who are in charge of PTAs, whatever they call it now, but it has to do with the children. What's going on in the school. What programs they got going on. And another thing I'm against. I know you'll say, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, I think I do. A little bit. Okay? The minute those kids hit school, they're all asked to go out and do fundraising. So we can do this and so we can do that. Let's do a fundraiser. So they send these kids out to all their parents' friends, stressing over who's going to pay for what and all this stuff. They gotta sell stuff. That should not be happening. And I know good and well those schools get enough money for their supplies. Somebody's got the money going on somewhere. So anyway, I'm just saying, there are certain things that should not be happening to do with school. And that is mandated how many days you can miss, and mandated your homework. And then what do? You give them detention because they might be late. So maybe you should extend the break in between, and if they're late, then yeah. But just a short period of time to get from class to class, and maybe you might want to stop and go pee. I'm just saying, there could be some things minimalized. Extend the breaks in between classes. Extend the lunch break. No homework. Fun projects, field trips. And maybe they're doing it, but I had heard they stopped. But I think all the classes that we used to have years ago, shop, workshop, wood shop, learn things, sewing, cooking, budgeting, running a household, all those things would be really good. And it crosses into the math. So you don't have to get so crazy with what are you teaching these kids, this math that the parents can't understand, to try to help them. So you send this kid home with this math they can't understand, and expect the parents that are at home to teach the kids. So that's what you're doing when it's your job to teach them. I just think that maybe we shouldn't be trying to teach them things that are so hard to learn. Let's get back with the basics. Reading, writing, and arithmetic. How to add and subtract and divide and multiply. Those are your basics. And then don't feel like it's bad that the child needs a calculator, because all the jobs out there are asking for you to use a calculator. So instead of getting upset that they're using calculators, help them learn how to use them. But I'm still saying, We need to get things more simplified and less stress on our children, less stress on the parents and the children with this homework business. I know. I'm full of answers, but it's the truth, people. It's not right, okay? This life has a purpose, and it doesn't mean homework, 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 and failure because you don't have that high-tech job. You're going to find out, you go through school, and then you go through college, you're still not going to have that job. A lot depends on, you'll find out a lot depends on experience. So you can't even get a job without experience. So then that's where you have to think about that, because that's where internships happen. Depending on what you want to be, try to find an internship where you can be paid to learn. Paid to learn and get your degrees. It is a thing. Anyway, I am starving. I have got to find some food. I had a can of cream of chicken soup today. And an egg. I had a boiled egg. What else? Did I have anything else? I had coffee. But I'm starving right now. So that means crackers. I wonder if I have some crackers. Anyway, you guys, I think it's probably time I'll close her down. You guys take care. And I'll try to go for another walk tomorrow. It was short, but I did get around. And it was good to have you guys to talk to. So thank you. Bye.